Man, we have a lot to get into. This is my quick thoughts. This is Raising Kanan, season 5. This is the final season, episode 7, my quick thoughts. Normally we go from the beginning to the end of the episode, but we're going to jump to the end, the highlight, where Kanan erases his uncle Marvin, took him out. Man, this was sickening. It was emotional, and I could not believe this actually happened. We did not see this coming. If you read the comments, everyone thought Marvin would get jail or just something like that. We did not see Kanan taking out his uncle, not by accident, but on purpose. And the crazy part is, it actually happened in the church. Think about it. In this season, Kanan has taken out both uncles. One, Uncle Lou on accident, but he actually took out Uncle Marvin. Man, this is a big loss because we all love London, AKA Uncle Marvin. We love him. Man, I can't believe this. But let's get into the actual recap starting from the beginning to the end because it was a lot. And we know next week is the final episode. We're only getting 8 episodes this season before we jump into Power Origins. So at the beginning of the episode, we have Flossie. She tells Rock and Marvin about Kanan, how he set him up and how he came into the house and tried to get rid of her. I don't know what he's trying to do, scare her or whatever. But Flossie says she's done working with Rock and Marvin. It's over. But then I noticed at that part, Marvin just looks like he's ready to get out of the game. He was just tired at that point, man. Because Marvin had love for Flossie. You could just tell he was just tired of doing all this left and right, erasing this person, that person. You could just tell Marvin had heart at the beginning of the episode. But then we have Snaps and Pops. They're talking to Breeze. They're telling Breeze he has to take Rock out. Because we know Snaps and Pops, they've had a hard on for Rock for a long time. They're ready just to take her out. But then next we have Garcia. He's being questioned about everything that's going on. But you can see it. Garcia, he was nervous, but I can't blame him. He's not in that life. He was trying to live a clean life, but he kind of got caught up in some dirt. But he was definitely nervous. So what are some other key highlights of this episode? Oh, yeah, Jukebox. She tells Kanan that she finally knows who erased Famous and that it was Snaps and Pops. But when she tells him, Kanan basically doesn't even care at that point. He seems like he's so far gone. Kanan has become a monster. You look at this season from the season 1, man, it's just, that's character building. That's great writing for sure. But he is the most hated character in the Power universe. But like I said, this is the best spinoff. This is up there with the original Power. But yeah, Kanan, we hate him. But then what else do we have? Let me think. Then they're building the case on Marvin. We see that's what Garcia tells them. They're building the case on Marvin. They're closing in. And that's why we thought that, Marvin's going to go to jail. He's not going to go out like that because they're building the case. Also, we see they're building the case on Rock for money laundering and things like that. But then we see where Breeze tells Kanan that Snaps and Pops wants him to take out Rock or Marvin. So he's picking out which one he actually wants to do, which is crazy thinking that Kanan actually wants to take out one of his family members. That's just a wild concept at all if you just think about it. Kanan wants to take out a family member? I just can't even believe that. But then we have, what else do we have? Marvin goes and shoots up the place where Breeze is, takes out a few people because they're beefing. It's part of the streets. You got a bunch of wars left and right. You got things like that. But then we see Aisha. Aisha is back. She pulls up to the crib, talking to Jukebox, talking about she wants that old thing back. But then she goes over to Kanan's crib because she saw that Juke had the piece and tried to explain, what's going on. Kanan needs to watch out for her. But then Kanan says, what if Juke is coming for him? But when you look at Kanan's eyes during that part of the episode, Kanan just looks dark. He just can't be mad only that Marvin, roughed him up the last episode because he deserved it. Think about it. He took out Uncle Lou. That was Marvin's brother. Nobody wanted that to happen, so you can't really be mad at Marvin for what he did to Kanan, even though it was an accident. What else do we have this episode? Oh yeah, then you have Marvin just being real with Rock, telling him how he really feels about the game at this point, about how he feels like they've aged out, they've accomplished everything, but the only thing Rock loves is her son. She doesn't really care for her brothers. But he's actually right. Rock doesn't really care about anyone. She doesn't care about all the people she took out, all the kids. She doesn't really care about her brothers. Even the way she threw Lou in some empty field. You wouldn't do that no matter if it was your brother or not, but that's just what she did. And, Marvin was pouring his heart out. But this is getting to the end of the episode, but we did not see, you can just tell Marvin was just kind of planning to get out of the game or move, strategically somewhere else. But I don't know, you couldn't really tell what was going to happen, but he thought he was going to go to jail or something. But then we have Jukebox. That's the next part of the episode. She starts to follow Snaps and Pops because you know that she wants to go get revenge for Famous. Because Famous was Kanan's friend, but he was also Jukebox. Jukebox's friend. She cared. Jukebox has a big heart for sure. So we see Jukebox, she follows Snaps and Pops, and during midday, she erases both of them. But she tells them this is for Famous. She explains, this is why she's getting rid of them. She's getting rid of them. But we knew that we knew that someone was going to get rid of Snaps and Pops. We saw it coming. I mean, if you look at all the everyone talking about it on YouTube, all their previews for this season or this episode, everyone knew it was Pops and Snaps time. They haven't really been built up this season, so we knew that was going to be the end of them for sure. But I did not see Jukebox actually taking them out. I thought maybe it would be Kanan, but, Kanan was moving a different way. But also, we see that Snaps and Pops, they cut Breeze out. Breeze is done with them, but it doesn't matter now because there's no more Snaps and Pops. But we know in Power Origins, there's going to be Breeze, Jukebox. Man, I don't know if there's going to be any siblings left. I mean, Marvin's gone, Lou's gone. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to Rock. We have one episode left. But after Juke takes out, Snaps and Pops, we have, at the very end of the episode, we have Marvin. He goes into the church. He gives the pastor something. He just talks about, if something ever happens to me, give this to Jukebox. When he's sitting there, but we see Kanan in the car. But I didn't think Kanan was going to come in and actually erase Uncle Marvin. I thought maybe he would scare him, just to kind of, show face saying, hey, I tried or whatever. But he actually erases Uncle Marvin. And the way Uncle Marvin went out, he had to light that cigarette. We know he's been smoking cigarettes since the first season. But man, that was sad and disappointing. I just can't believe it. I don't know what's going to happen in the season finale. But Kanan, he's got rid of his son, both of his uncles. I mean, this guy is ruthless, and this is disgusting. He is the most hated character in Power. But let me know how you felt about this episode. These are just my quick thoughts. And how do you feel about Kanan and what he did to Uncle Marvin? Because we don't care about Snaps and Pops, what Juke did to them. We saw that coming. But where do you see this going for the last episode of season 5? But let us know. Episode 8's coming up. But let us know some of your predictions. Let us know in the comments.